Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today is my weekly wrap-up of books, tarot, a little bit of tarot, and crochet. It's been a long time since I've crocheted anything, so I crocheted this and then frogged it and then redid it, and it looks much better now. Ignore the bottom row, it needs a border. But yeah, it's going to be one of these fan-shaped patterns. This is yarn that I got from when my brother and sister-in-law went to New Zealand. It's called Mithril, haha, because it's the official weaver of, wait, hang on, licensed weavers for The Hobbit. I don't know what that means. Anyway, they can produce Hobbit-ish merchandise, I guess. Anyway, I like both The Lord of the Rings and crochet, although I haven't crocheted in a hot minute. So they got this for me. So there's this light gray color, a dark gray, and then this sort of rust color. So that'll be fun. Fun summer project. And then, okay, books. I have finally finished listening to La Fille qui rendait coup by David Lagercrantz. That's the girl who takes an eye for an eye, I believe, in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo Millénium series, which was fun. I didn't pay, I was a bit distracted as I was listening to it, so I missed some things, but that's okay. It's fine. And then I listened to Soft Magic by Upile Chisala. Can't read my own handwriting here. Who's a poet from Malawi. So for my Read Around the World challenge, I thought, oh, this will be my Malawi author. I may still find another one because she's very insta poetry style, in like the Ruby Core style, which is just not my thing. Like if you like Ruby Core, you might like her a lot. I just, no thank you. And not for me. And then I read The Farming of Bones by Edwige Danticat. She also wrote Breath, Eyes, Memory, and Crick Crack, and I loved those. They are phenomenal books. This one was only okay. It's set during a massacre called the Parsley Massacre, I think, in the Dominican Republic, where Haitian workers were massacred. And so the events are horrifying, but the characters, the first 2/3 of the book, trying to get to know the characters, I just didn't care about them. There was no, I don't know, the pace was weird. The characters were uninteresting until about the last third. I don't know. It was a strange book and didn't quite do it for me the way her other two. I mean, she's got additional ones, I think. But the way Breath, Eyes, Memory, and Crick Crack did, because I loved those two. This one was phenomenal. This is An Unnecessary Woman by Rabih, Alameddine. Phenomenal. So the main character is this woman who is 72, unnecessary because she's unmarried and doesn't have kids. And so this is after the Lebanese Civil War. She's book obsessed, which I love. She's a translator, but not for money because that would be unseemly. She just does it for fun. And she is just, her voice is, I love the main character of this book. She's incredible, and I want to be her someday. She translates a new book, so it's partly a love letter to literature that this woman loves. So she translates a new book every year, but she does it the strange way. She didn't want to translate anything from English and French, but I think she can only read English, French, and Arabic. I say only. So she translates like Russian books, for example, into Arabic, but through either the English or French translation, which is a weird way to do it and not ideal. But she enjoys it, and so that's why she does it. And she talks about books all the time, and everybody in her neighborhood thinks she's a bit weird and not an ideal role model, and I think she's an ideal role model. So that is An Unnecessary Woman. This is The Draining Lake by Arnaldur Indriðason. This is it's in this series it's set in Reykjavik, with Detective Arnaldur, who investigates just, I don't know. It's a fun Icelandic detective story. They're really good at those. I don't know, they've got a thing going on there. It's good fun. It's about a lake that drains, which really happened, which is how I found out about this book, because I'm going to see that lake later this year when I visit Iceland. And the lake doesn't have any rivers flowing into it. It's all groundwater fed. And there was an earthquake that drained some of the water out, and then people found things on the shores and stuff. Anyway, in this book, they find a skeleton and some radio equipment from the Soviets. So that's that. It was good fun. Then I read Mahbod Seraji's Rooftops of Tehran, which is good. The middle got a little slow-ish for a minute there. So at the beginning, it's two boys, Pasha and Ahmed, on the roof, joking around. They're in, I think, the 11th grade, or thereabouts, close to finishing high school, but not quite. And they go to school, they come home and just sit on the roof and joke and talk and whatever, admire the girls next door, that sort of thing. The middle gets a bit sluggish, for a minute, but only for a minute. There's a death, I can't really say what. The Shah, this is before the revolution of 79. So the Shah's secret police, which were also pretty horrifying, and just repressed any sort of dissension or criticism of the government, and killed people violently and would disappear them and then bury them in unmarked graves and just all sorts. Like, it was ugly. So anyway, that happened to one of the sort of adjacent characters in this neighborhood, and it leads to quite devastating consequences for the people in that community, and they have to try and deal with their relationships with each other after this death. And yeah, it's really moving in the end. It's quite sad. It's the, love story. There's a little bit of all sorts of things. I really liked it overall. Yeah, I have to look up. I don't know if he's written anything else. I don't think he has, but if he ever did, I'd probably give it a go. And then I read, this is the last one I listened to, which is Klara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I read this because I liked The Remains of the Day. It's not my favorite Ishiguro. I love Never Let Me Go. And so this one is a little bit like Never Let Me Go, but I didn't love it as much. I didn't find it as powerful. That book I adore. It's incredible. This one, it was okay. I liked it. I'm glad I read it. I'm not going to read it again, but I might read Never Let Me Go again sometime. So that's this one. So that was my week in books. And then the Tarot Readathon is starting on July 1st. So I've got the Tarot of the She, which is a new-ish to me deck. I've only had it for a couple of weeks. And it's a lot of fun. So I've been playing with this and pulling some cards. I did a couple of spreads based on Lydia Pavlova's book. Lita Pavlova, sorry. And I'll show you those in a second. But each of the cards is tied to a prompt in this readathon. So you pull a spread or just one card, whatever you want, and then match a book to the prompt that matches this card. So that's how you sort of develop your TBR for the month. So I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so this is excessive, and I might not get through all of them, but I want to read the audiobook for the Country Girls. This is all three in the epilogue. I might just read the first one as an audiobook. I want to finish this one. I started the Book of Rhymes, The Poetics of Hip Hop, and haven't finished it. And then I want to read Ali and Nino by Kurban Said. So I might get to that one. We shall see. This one I really, really want to finish. This one I think was a book you started and have been in the process of reading for a very long time. So yeah, definitely want to finish that. And then I've got another Indriðason book, so that should be a quick, easy read. And then these are audiobooks that I've got. The Known World by Edward P. Jones. I think that's around the theme of slavery in the States, I think. In the Time of Butterflies, that's the, what's it called? Dictatorship in the Dominican Republic. So, all very cheerful books. Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. And then A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin. Have I read Ursula Le Guin? I don't think I have. That's been on my shelf for a while. So yeah, this is my sort of TBR, I guess, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.